Hi guys, here is your first lesson in online schooling for our fourth quarter. The next unit we were going to be starting was supposed to be volume of cones, cylinders, and spheres. It's still going to be that, and I'm pretty confident that it's not going to be too hard to do because those volume formulas are pretty easy. So let's go ahead and get started. The first one we are going to talk about, and I actually have this nice fancy little notes sheet for you, but I was planning on giving it to you on Monday, but then we didn't have school anymore. So first one we're going to talk about for solid are cylinders. Now, if I were you, I would pause this video right now and I'd go ahead and get me a piece of paper to take some notes on, or a math notebook, something that's you're going to be able to jot down stuff as we go, just like I am. Cylinders, as you know, are very similar to something like a pop can, spaghetti bottle, things like that look like this. Cylinder is made up of a circle for a base and a circle for a top, and then two straight edges. Now, important things you need to know. These straight lines have measurements that are referred to as the height, and we always write them with the letter H. Inside here, if I put a dot in the center of one of the circles, and this dot can go at the bottom or it can go at the top, the distance from halfway across the circle to an edge is the radius. And you probably have learned that. I'm sure you have learned that when you dealt with circles in earlier grades. Now, the great thing about cylinders is the formula is very similar. It actually starts off with the same formula as the area of a circle. So our formula is going to start off with V for volume equals, and the formula for a circle is pi times the radius squared. This is your area of a circle formula. Then all we're going to do is multiply that by the height. So it's the area of the base times the height, and the base is a circle. So let's go ahead and try some numbers with that. If I've got a cylinder, and sorry if you hear noise in the background, we're doing dishes. If I have a cylinder, and I know that the height is 6 units, and I know that my radius is 3. Here's how this works. The great thing about this is, number one, you're given the volume formulas on the test, if you were to have this on a state test. I have, because I'm recording right now, I've gone ahead and pulled up the Desmos calculator on my phone. You can see it right here. I'm going to go ahead. Biggest piece of advice I can give you, unless it tells you otherwise, always for pi, just use 3.14. It's going to make your numbers look a lot prettier. I know we have a problem with long, ugly decimals. So I'm going to do 3.14 times the radius, which is 3. Hit that second power, times the height, which is 6. And when I hit enter on my calculator, you can see right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, but it says 169.56. If I were to use the pi symbol, I would have gotten a much uglier decimal, and I likely would have had to round. But I talked to Mr. Domain. Let me see if I can get that to focus on you. There it goes. Talked to Mr. Domain. We decided for most of our stuff, what we're going to do is go ahead and just use the pi symbol to avoid the whole rounding fiasco. One more example I want to do with you. I have this cylinder. Sometimes, as you know, they will like to give you information you don't need. For example, I'm going to go ahead and use this point up here. I'm going to say this has a height of 8 centimeters. And instead of giving you the radius, they're going to give you the whole distance across that circle. We're going to say that whole distance across that circle, maybe it's 4 centimeters. Now here's the thing. Our volume formula uses radius. They gave us diameter. Radius is half of that, so what do I have to do to that 4? Yep, got to cut it in half. So instead of that 4, I'm going to use a 2. Same idea, 3.14 times 2 squared times 8. So if I come up here to my Desmos, 3.14 times 2 squared times 8, that's going to give me 100.48 centimeters squared. That is all that is to the volume of cylinders. Not hard, really. It's just knowing how to plug the numbers in that they're giving you. Same formula every time. Only difference is if they give you the whole distance, you need to cut it in half because you want the radius. I'm going to put in Echo and possibly in the same Flipgrid an attachment to a worksheet that's going to give you some practice problems. So I want you to go ahead and practice those. I'll also put the answer key to the practice problems up there. And then there should be an Echo assessment for you that will automatically grade to check how you're doing. Let me know. You can reply to this Flipgrid video if you have any questions or you're having any problems, just like you replied to the intro video. Otherwise, you don't need to reply to the video. Just practice your problems and do the Echo assessment. We'll talk soon. Bye, guys.